Hey everyone, it's Sammy. I am really crossing my fingers and hoping that this video works. I've been having some difficulties getting them to save and they keep ending up corrupted. So hopefully this fourth take will be a good to go video. It's June, and what that means and why I'm so excited for June is it's arcade month. I am a big, huge Gacha addict. It is definitely one of my weaknesses in Second Life, and arcade is one of the bigger known Gacha events that are out there. I think it kind of started, if my SL history is correct, it may have really started the whole Gacha event craze, I believe, years and years ago. So what I wanted to do was, since this is the arcade month and there's a lot of people going and playing the arcade and playing the gachas and posting some of them selling their extras and things, I wanted to make a video of some tips and tricks that I have picked up over the years of playing gachas, ways to keep yourself a little bit organized through the process, and then also talk about how to post up your duplicates or things that you don't want up onto the marketplace. Now, there are some people who are anti-selling on the marketplace, and there are some people who are anti-selling in shops and world. I don't really care where you sit on the fence of that issue. I am a marketplace seller. It works better for me. It's very simple. It's very easy. So whatever you choose to do on how you want to resell your gachas, then go for it. But I will be focusing on the video on trying to walk people through how to get your marketplace set up if you don't already have one, and then also ways that you can get your extras that you don't want posted up onto marketplace. So one of the things that I have discovered, I am quite OCD, and I really like to be organized. So one of the tips that I have to give people when you're going to these gacha events and going to start playing a bunch of gachas, as we all know in Firestorm and most viewers, when you play or when you buy something, it goes into your recent folder inside of your objects folder. I go prepared. I go ahead and I make up a folder and I name it for the event. So this one would be the Arcade June. I put the month on there. You don't need to. You can name it really whatever you want to. But like I said, I'm OCD, so I like to put the date or the month that's on there because sometimes I fall behind on getting sorted and getting some of this stuff posted into my wardrobe and whatnot. And especially if there's gifts, I may not look at this folder once I open all my gachas. I may not look at it for a couple months because I am really bad about it. So this will help me know, like, oh, okay, I remember that this stuff came from the June. If that's not important to you, you don't have to put it on there. Inside the arcade folder, this is where I stay organized. If you're playing more than one gacha, especially if you're playing as many as I do when I go, if you can see all these stupid folders that are in here, once you start playing, they start becoming quite disorganized and just a big old jumble in your inventory, especially in your objects folder. I suggest getting organized. If you want to know what you have and you want to make everything easier to sort and figure out what you have and what you're going to post, etc., then just start before you even go and start making your folders. So what I do is for each gacha machine that I play, I will make a folder for that gacha. I will usually title it with the creator's name, like this one has Australia. I have recently started adding the name of the gacha because some designers will have more than one gacha there to play. Rain is one that definitely, from what I can remember, usually does have at least one, sometimes two gachas there. So if you want to stay even more organized and know which one is different, then by all means. Name them differently. Just like here, I have the Rain Beach Please and then Rain Glamping because she had two gacha machines at the arcade. And then the last thing that I add on to the title of my gotcha folder is the cost of the pull. This has become probably the biggest help for me when getting my things posted up onto Marketplace, because I can never remember, was it a 50 linden pull? Was it 75? That's usually the two prices, but every now and then you have some that are just totally random that are like 69 linden or 72 linden. I don't know. So this will help you remember, especially if you are posting them up onto Marketplace and you're going to be listing them for the pull price, which is what a lot of people do, and sometimes they discount it a little bit too, but whatever. This is really helpful to know, so you know exactly what you need to be asking for on your pull prices instead of trying to track down that information through the arcade website or going back to the event if you can get back in, things like that. So if you name your folders, you've already got all the information that you need right here. And if you want to be as OCD as me, you can even take it a little step further. On some of the gotcha machines that I play, especially clothing items where they have like a bunch of different tops and colors and a bunch of different skirts and colors, and you're trying to collect the whole entire set of those colors, I suggest as you play, or at least every 5 to 10 pulls on a machine or so, go ahead and break those down into the folders inside there by color, so you know, like a visual, like, okay, I know that this piece had 4 colors, or 4 pieces to 1 color, so when you see, oh, I've got all 4 colors, I don't need that, or 4 pieces to that color anymore, I don't need it. This is a huge help later when you're going back to open up your items, or when you're going to browse on Marketplace to purchase some of the missing pieces. It's a lot easier to see exactly what you're missing, because as you know and you can see, these items are named very closely alike. There's just one little difference, you know, like panty, ruffle, whatever. They can kind of, when you're trying to stare at 20 different items in one big folder, they kind of start blurring together, and you might miss some of the items that you're looking for, thinking you have it when you don't. So that's why I suggest, as you go along, try to split them up between the colors. That is a really big help. Do you have to? No, you don't have to do any of this. I'm just offering you some tips and tricks of things that have helped me when I play. So that's basically all that I do when I am playing the gotchas and spending way too much money to keep myself a little bit more organized. So the next part that I want to walk you guys through is, so how do I sell my extra gotchas, or the ones that I don't want to keep? And if you do want to sell them on Marketplace, how do you go about getting that started? So it's very, very easy. The first thing that you need to do, if you do have, what is the word I'm looking for? If you have payment history on Second Life, then, oops, wrong window, then you will be able to make a Marketplace. If you don't, then I don't think you can get a shop, like a Marketplace store. I think you have to have some kind of payment account set up on Marketplace. So what you'll do is when you open up the Marketplace main web page, it looks just like this. Up here at the top is your personal information, and you should, if you do have payment info included, you should have this up here at the top that says My Marketplace, and this is going to be basically like your store. Click on that and go to Merchant Home. Your page will be empty. It won't have this adorable nerdy panda with the store name, because that's my Marketplace. That's what I named mine. But it will look similar to this, just minus that. So to get it all set up, you will go to Edit Store Information, and under the Store Setup area. And this is where you can name your store if you want. You can add some additional information if you would like. All this stuff you can do. And then when you're done adding all that, you just click Save, and voila, now you have a Marketplace store. This is really where everything you're going to do, the Marketplace merchant home screen is where everything you're going to do on Marketplace is at. You can manage your listings, and if you click on that, everything that you post onto Marketplace that is being sold by you will be listed here. It looks just like any other Marketplace listing of things that you search for. You can also go to your transaction history, and this is where everything that you have listed for on the Marketplace for sale has been sold, and it gives you your transaction history of who you sold it to, how much you sold it to, and you can actually view your order to see what exactly they bought. And the only other thing that I wanted to point out is my mind just went blank. Anyway, so this is really how all you will get it set up. Maybe it will come to me in a minute. So yeah, it's very, very easy to get this all set up. So let's go back into Second Life, if I can get there. There we go. How do you post things up onto the Marketplace from inside Second Life? Super easy. Again, I'm not sure about other viewers. I'm assuming that other viewers have something similar to this, but in Firestorm, if you go to the top under your avatar tab, there will be Marketplace listings. This is the link that takes you to what you have on Marketplace. So a few explanations about what this stuff is. The All tab is every single one of your listings, whether it is listed, unlisted, whatever. Everything that you've moved onto Marketplace is going to be found in here. It's kind of like just one big, huge folder. So listed means that you actively have an item that is on Marketplace, and it is actually actively listed. So somebody can search for that item and can actively buy it from you. Unlisted is either an item that you have moved onto Marketplace, but you haven't officially made it active yet, so it's still sitting there, or it's something that you have had listed at one point, but now you're sold out. And once you are sold out of something, it will move into this unlisted section, and you will now see that it says out of stock. So these are all three of these are gachas, and I have sold out of the items. I no longer have those because somebody's bought them. So it gets moved over here into my unlisted folder. Now, if for some reason I decided to go back and play a machine, and I did buy some, like I played this machine again and I got the same exact item again, I could move it into this folder and then relist it if you wanted to. But I'm not going to go over that. I'm just going to show you how to get them posted up to Marketplace for right now. So that's what the unlisted folder is for. And unassociated is where your items, when you first move them onto Marketplace, goes, because it's kind of like it's just sitting there waiting. Marketplace is sitting here waiting for you to tell it what you actually want to do with this item. You will be moving them out of this folder into the unlisted folder, and I'll walk you through how to do all that. So let's say I'm going to sell my duplicates of this doe hair. She named it after me, by the way. I'm kidding. I wish she did. Anyway, so I'm going to sell some of these. I'm not going to walk you through every single one. I'm going to do two for you. I'm going to do these three. So you have two different ways that you can move these over to Marketplace. You can simply drag and drop it over here into the little, I don't know what this bar is, drop folders here to create new listings, whatever. Drop it right there. It's going to tell you you've moved it from the original location. It's a no copy item, and it just wants to make sure, are you sure that's what you want to do? Which is good because it's no copy. So you need to know, is that really what you want to do? And it is. So we say, okay. Or you can highlight the ones that you want, like I've done here. Right click, and down at the very bottom of the window is a move to Marketplace listings, and it goes over. So, one of the things that I specifically want to help people with is I see people all the time that have exactly the same items on Marketplace listed multiple times. You don't need to do that. You can. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just unnecessary. So I want to show you how you can combine your items and do just one listing if they are exactly the same thing. Remember, I said exactly the same thing. So if you see here, I have two number two doe Samira brown hairs that are exactly the same, right? So I could do individual listings for each one, but that's time consuming and I don't want to do that and it's just unnecessary. So to combine them, you'll just open up your folders that they come in and move one into the other and just combine them. If you notice, each one right now says here on this last line, stock of one equals one, stock equals one. But what happens if you drag and drop one up there, now it says stock equals 2, and this one down here says out of stock. Hold on one second. Excuse me, had to sneeze. So that's how you combine them into one listing as opposed to listing each one individually and having bukus of listings on there. And you don't have to edit your listings multiple times. You just do it one time. So this is how I would recommend that you do it. It's so simple. It's so easy. Just drag and drop, combine them, and there you go. Now that this one doesn't have any items because we've combined it, you can just delete this and it's all fine and good. Now, this one still I cannot combine because it's different, right? It's number 2 and number 6. So we're not going to combine those. You can only combine them. Have I said that enough? You can only combine them if they're the same exact item. Okay. Now, so we're just sitting in this window. Marketplace is waiting for us to tell it what we want to do with these items. So we want to move it up onto the marketplace and start selling it. So what you're going to do is right click and you need to create a listing for them. Create listing. It's going to move out of there. Create listing. Move out of the unassociated. And now they are right here. Don't get confused with my other things that are there that I need to delete. They're right there, so they're in your unlisted. They're still unlisted because you still haven't told Marketplace, I need this to be active, okay? But they are sitting there ready to be sold, but nobody can search for them and nobody can find them yet. You still have to create your actual listing for the item. What I have done that has also helped me out is I make a pre-made note card that I have saved that I always copy and paste from. It's just a little bitty kind of, I guess, sales spiel about telling the person what kind of item this is, that it's a gotcha, they're no copy, I'm not responsible for any product that, anything wrong with the item and things like that. I also like to include where the item was from, like I have here June 2018 arcade event, because some people don't remember where they come from when they're starting to look. I don't know. Do you really need to know that? No, I like to know where they come from, so I include that information, but you do it however you want to do it. And then I have already kind of like pre-typed up a lot of stuff. Some of those machines that you play, sometimes they include all the sizes and you just play that one, or some of them have individual sizes that you have to play for if you're playing for Materia or Slink or whatever. I only have Materia, so I usually only play a Materia, but I like to copy and paste, just let people know, hey, by the way, if you buy this, it is for Materia only, and I just copy and paste that. So I've just got some terms and stuff that I use frequently that I use on this note card to copy and paste and make my editing, my listings a little bit easier and go faster, because I use this all the time every time I post. So what you do is, if you want to post this one, you're going to go to edit listing, and your little window browser in Second Life is going to pop up here in just a second. Takes a minute. And here is your edit item listing screen. So I'll explain a few of the things that are in here and show you how you do this. SKU is kind of like a nickname, so that you can name these whatever you want. If you're going to be doing multiple postings of a similar item and you don't want to change all the information every time you post it, you can kind of give it a nickname to search so that later when you come back to post the other things, you can just go into the quick fill, type this that you name it, and it will automatically fill out your listing for you based off of like what preferences you already selected, etc. And I will show you how to do that here in just a second. So because this is a Samira hair, I'm going to name it Samira, and plus I just love that name. Don't know why. And you'll come down here and don't really have to worry about version. Item status, this is what makes your item sit in the unlisted or in the listed category. Right now it's inactive, so you have to select it's active. That is probably the most important thing that you will do when you are posting to Marketplace. It's not going to show up if you don't have it active. Maturity level, I never mess with this. I leave it whatever generically it is preset to, which is usually general. Obviously, if you know for a fact you have something that is adult, you can change it. It's entirely up to you. I have only had 1 or 2 of my items flagged as maturity level inappropriate, and that was because I think one of them was a cigarette and one of them was a martini glass, and whatever powers that be that sit there and scour the marketplace to find little bad elves like me found it and said that it should have been marked as moderate or adult because it related to tobacco and alcohol. Whatever. I just came in, edited my listing, changed the rating, and then reposted it. Not a big deal. But you leave it just whatever you want. The one thing is if you do list it as adult or moderate, obviously some people won't search for adult or moderate, or they just leave it searchable for general stuff. So changing that rating could possibly limit who's searching for your item, I guess. I don't really know if that really would affect it or not, but whatever. I never messed with the mesh or the permission. I do mess with permissions, sorry. Don't mess with the mesh, but permissions, this is also something that you can select. Since gotcha items are always no copy, no modify, but they are transferable, then you want to select that it's transferable. Usage and all this other stuff usually is more kind of creator type stuff, and we're not creators, we're just resellers, right? We're kind of like the antique stores. We're selling somebody else's junk. So you don't really have to mess with this at all. I never do. When you come down here, this SL folder name is what it popped up as in your marketplace listing here when you moved it up here. The item title is required. You cannot post an item if you do not save something here. That's why it has the red asterisk there. I find that it works best if whatever is here as a folder name, which is typically what the creator named it, I just think it works best if you copy and paste and leave it direct, like exactly like how the creator named it. Sometimes this is not filled out for some reason. I don't know why. I've never found a rhyme or reason to why it shows up and sometimes it doesn't. If it's blank, just highlight this line and copy it and paste it. The reason why I think it works best if you just leave it what the creator named it is because I know for sure when I am on Marketplace searching for an item, that's what I do. I copy and paste what the creator called it and I try to find it that way. And I know a majority of people do. If you change this name up a whole lot, you may not be able to find the item. Like somebody may not be able to find the item as easily if you do. So that's my advice to you is just keep it what the creator named it and they won't have a problem. Down here, extended description. Again, this is also something that is required. You have to type something and put something in here. Some people just say gotcha item. Okay, that's fine. It's short and sweet and simple. This is where I copy and paste my little fancy note card information about the item that they're getting. So this is why I have my note card and I just change it as I need to. Easy peasy, copy and paste it over into the description. Simple. Keywords, not necessary. Some people don't use it, some people do. I usually type gotcha there. Your other required thing that you have to do is a category. You can be general, you can be specific. I really don't know what works best. It depends on my mood sometimes. After sorting and posting 100 and plus gotchas, sometimes I'm tired and I do something very general and just go in here and avatar accessories and call it good as hair, because it is hair. Um, I have had some things flagged for being too general. Again, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if there's actually somebody that just sits there and scours the marketplace and finds things that aren't listed correctly, and that's what they do as their job. If it's a programming thing that it finds it, or I really don't know. I have had, like I said, some items that have been flagged as not tagged appropriately or categorized appropriately, and you'll get a message, an email, plus like when you go into log into marketplace or whatever, it will tell you like this has been moved off a marketplace into your unlisted folder, and they'll give you a reason for why it was moved off, and it's usually a category issue, or like a rating issue or something like that. All you gotta do, just fix it. If it's a category issue, usually it's because you weren't specific enough, and you can come in just really quickly, edit your listing, and then do the correction that you need to and resave it. Very simple and very easy. This is a kind of an updo. It's kind of long. I don't know. I'm feeling women's long hair, so that's what I'm gonna call it for right now. Like I said, this is my first posting, so by the time I get done tonight, after I get everything posted, I will probably just be doing generic postings of hair. But for the purpose of this video, I'm showing I'm doing it the right way. Okay. Your next item that has to have that is required in order for you to post is the item price. Obviously, you're not going to be giving, well, I mean, I guess you could have it for free, but even if you wanted it to be free, you have to put a 0 there. So this is all entirely up to you. You can just decide. I like in my head, I already know, I have this whole mathematic equation of what I'm charging for my gotchas, and I do it that way. You can do like pull price. Just remember, marketplace, when you list things on marketplace, the one of the drawbacks to listing on the marketplace is that Linden Lab is going to take 5% of your sale. So if you list this for 100, you will only be getting 95 Linden back. So just bear that in mind when you're posting. So if you are trying to get your money back on your pool and it was a 75 Linden pool, then you're going to have to sell it for a little more than 75 to cover the cost, because otherwise you're only going to be getting like 73. I don't know. That's math. It's too early. But you're not going to be getting your full pool price back. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes if I can get my stuff posted up really quickly right after the event, I will kind of go a little higher on my prices because people are out there scouring, trying to find those items. Typically, what I have noticed is there are some creators or some machines that get overplayed, and the market floods very fast with their items, and within 24 to 48 hours, people are already marking it down significantly, just trying to get rid of them. So it's a gambling game. It is, just whatever you feel like you want to sell it for. Nobody says how much you have to sell it for. If you want to be competitive, I suggest kind of trying to scour and look at marketplace and see what other people are selling theirs for. And if they're selling it for 50 Linden, maybe you want to mark it down to 49 to make yours a little bit more appealing to the person that's shopping for it. If you think, hell no, that item I know will sell for 500 Linden, well then by all means mark it up for 500 Linden. Just know that you're taking a chance. It may sit there for months and months and it may never sell. So that's all entirely up to you. I do sometimes go back over time and check out the market and see like what things are going for when I have time. It is tedious, but it's work. And I will start marking stuff down to try to just get rid of it. So it's entirely up to you. So for my purposes and my little mathematical equation that I use, I'm selling this hair for $150. So the only other thing that you really need to do, and this is not a required, but I will tell you, it does help your sales, is upload an image. you've probably, if you have ever bought gotchas off the marketplace, you've probably seen some things that are listed that just have like a generic no image available posting up there, and then other people have actually included the image. I personally think it helps you sell it because people, I, maybe it's stupid, but like I even will typically, if I'm looking for an item on Marketplace, if my two options are one item with no image available and it's for 50 linden, and the next person is for 55 linden, but they've included a picture, I typically will buy the one that includes a picture. I don't know if it's my mind tricks me into thinking it's less of a chance of getting the wrong item if I can visually see that they've actually taken the time to snip that picture and include it and get it up, posted up, versus somebody that's just dumping all their crap onto the marketplace and can't even be bothered to take a picture and include it. I don't know. Is that judgmental? It probably is. But you know what? It's my second life, so who cares, right? So it's entirely up to you. I recommend, like I said, I recommend including an image. So several different ways that you can get it is a lot of times the creator will include a key to their gotcha. If they don't, there's definitely other ways you can find it. Like the arcade has like a shopping guide. I know Pocket Gacha does, Epiphany does, where you can go to their website and actually browse and find the pictures that you're looking for. If all else fails, you can always try Flickr as well. I have yet to ever not be able to either find it in the box, find it on Flickr, or find it on the Gacha website. So it's pretty easy to find the pictures. What I do is I use my snipping tool from Windows, and I enlarge the picture to make sure it's all clear and bright and big. You're going to resize it in a little bit anyways. You snip that picture just like that. Then you're going to save it wherever you save your pictures. I will call this Samira Gacha. Now, when you upload a picture, it does have, to the marketplace, it does have size restraints. When you click on upload an image, it tells you it needs to at least be 512 by 512 and no larger than blah, blah, blah. I think it's just easiest if you just resize it to 512 by 512 and you don't have any issues. So I will go in and resize that really quickly through my paint. And you can use any photo tool or anything that you have at your disposal that will resize for you. Doesn't have to be paint, but that's what I use. So, and my way is the right way, okay? All right, so once you've got it resized, you'll click on upload image, click here, and find your image to upload it. Takes forever. And there you go. There's your image. You can always upload more images if you want, if you've seen some of the creators, that include several different pictures, but you're not the creator, you're just a reseller, so you don't have to get like way into it. Although I kind of do. I have my own bags made too that I put my items into and sell them on the marketplace. They're all little fancy bags with my name of Half Nerd Boutique. Don't judge me. They're super cute, okay? Anyways, so you can add more pictures if you want. Not necessary to do, but there you go. That's how you do it. This is all you really need to do to get it posted. You are done. You don't have to worry about that extra stuff because, like I said, this is really more for like creator stuff. Once you're done, you can go to update and it'll think for just a minute. And it is now successfully posted. You can double check and make sure and see that it is if you search for your item. I called it Samir, so there we have it. So if you can see, remember how I told you that you have your unlisted and your listed, and it's not officially listed until you go through all those steps that I just did. You can see that here. If you see number 6 is still sitting there, it's gray because I haven't done anything to it. I have not listed it. But that one that I just did, the Samira Browns, it is now listed with a price and everything's here. You can click on it and it'll show you what it looks like. It looks just like that. So fancy. And you can quickly do edits to it here. If you decided, oh, you know what, I don't like that price, I think I'm going to change it, you can go into edit here and it'll pop it right back up just like it did, like it looked for you earlier. And something else you can do if you are wanting, say, you can also do a quick edit down here. If you just, like, if you have a whole bunch that you want to change, you click all the ones you want to change and go to this little modify selected items and go to this little box and you get the choice of list, unlist, edit, or delete. So these are the things that you can do, like bulk editing. So if you had a whole bunch you wanted to edit and change the price of, then you would just edit here and it would pull up a little thing. I'll do it really quick and show you. It looks a little bit different than the typical, the other one, just a tiny, tiny little bit. And it's all empty. And don't let that freak you out because it kind of freaked me out the first time I did it. I was like, well, where's all my stuff? I had all this information. You're only going to put in here what you want to change. It's not going to have all the information that you've already posted in there. This is strictly just what you're wanting to change. And you will do make your changes and then be done with it. All right, so let me show you this other way, how the SKU works. The last thing that I want to show you how to do before I go. So I'm going to get this one posted up. This is number 6, this Samir. I'm going to go to edit listing. Now remember I typed in Samira here for my SKU just a little bit ago as my keyword or shortcut. So I'm going to go to quick fill and in here it asks you what was your SKU. So I'm going to type Samira and search my products. Anything that I have ever given that SKU to of Samira is going to pop up. Well, here we go. This is the one that I just posted up with that SKU, Samira. So I'm going to click on it. The only thing it doesn't save, as you can tell, it's got all my info that I just used. The only thing it doesn't save is the active or inactive. You still have to select active, but everything else has stayed the same. The transfer is still there. You just need to double check to make sure that there's something here. And my little sell spiel is there. All of that stuff is here as well. Now, unfortunately, I really wish they would fix this or like find a way to do it, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. It does not save your image. So that is the other bad thing. But that's okay. It only takes a second. You've already got the picture snipped and sized and ready to go. You just got to do it and sit here and wait for it to upload. And there you go. Once that's all done, those are the only 2 things that do not save is the active and inactive and then your photo. So then you update and see how easy that is by using the SKU. It's a shortcut and all I had to do was just change 2 things really quickly and voila, just seconds later. And now I've got 2 items listed up on the marketplace in here. So it is super, super easy. And that is why I think just posting to the marketplace is so much easier. It is definitely worth the 5% that I'm losing on a sale versus having to deal with it in World and worry about it and owning a shop and paying rent and worrying about how many prims I've got, etc., etc. So easy. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, I certainly don't think I am the end-all be-all on how to post this. It's a work in progress. I always discover new ways that I can possibly do it easier and better. So by all means, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Any questions, let me know too, and I will get back to you. All right, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.